Hey guys, my name's Brittany, and for my part of the web tour, I'm going to be dealing with the last four sections, last 4 points. And to start that one off, the first one we're going to look at is inflation rates. And inflation rate refers to the general rise in prices measured against the standard level of purchasing power. For Sweden, we look at the first top graph, and Sweden in about September was at a 0.4% inflation rate. Whereas if you look in the bottom graph, the United States was at about a 1.7% inflation rate. Both those, obviously, as you can see, have improved drastically since around July 2011, and hopefully Sweden will be able to maintain that low inflation level. And it would be nice if the United States could bring theirs down a little bit, but we're just going to kind of have to see where things are headed. Okay, the next one we're looking at is the unemployment rate, and the unemployment rate can be defined as the number of people actively looking for jobs as a percent of the labor force. For Sweden's unemployment rate, it's a little higher than I thought it was going to be at 7.2%, and that was a little surprising to me because of how well you hear about Sweden's economy doing, no matter how the European economy is doing as a whole. The bottom one, the United States, you can see the United States unemployment rate is at about 7.8%, which to me personally, that seemed a little bit low compared to what I thought it was going to be, but I got these numbers from tradingeconomics.com, so that's just kind of what we're going to go for. Okay, the next one we're looking at is the national budget expenditures. And the national budget is divided into 27 different expenditures within Sweden. The Ministry of Justice is responsible for different areas, such as advocating money dealing with justice issues and money devoted to migration issues, as well as having partial responsibility for money that goes towards democratic policies as well as consumer policies. If you can see that it shows that the total spending for Sweden is expected to be at about 837.2 billion SEK, which is the Swedish money source. That turns into almost 127 billion US dollars. And so we can see that in comparison to what the US is expected to spend in 2013, which is $6.40 trillion. And it shows right there the different areas that the US is trying to divide its money and where it wants its money to go. And so taking a closer look into where Sweden wants its money to go, they want to put it towards putting people to work, and so obviously lowering their unemployment. They want welfare for all, and they want to be able to distribute that welfare evenly to all of the different residents. They want a stable financial system. They want energy, climate, and environmental policies improved, as well as improving growth and competitiveness and being able to stay stable throughout Europeans' debt crisis. Okay, next we look at the national revenues, and the national revenues is expected to be about 829.6 billion SEK. And so obviously, as you saw before, that's going to be a little bit lower than what their expenditures are supposed to come out and be, or expected to be. So we'll see how that plays out and where the different money is going. They have a whole list of where they believe that their expenditures are going to be coming in from in 2013 and exactly where their revenues are going to be going. But I didn't have enough time and I didn't want to throw all that up there for you guys. But if you want to check it out, you can go to that website right on the bottom and it'll show you a full list of where everything is expected to come from and where they're planning on having everything go. One of the last things we're going to look at is the GDP purchasing power parity. And the GDP capita purchasing power parity is like that exchange rate is the sum of the value of all goods and services produced in a country valued at a price prevailing in the United States. And so the calculations for the GDP per capita PPP is obtained by dividing the country's gross domestic product being adjusted by the PPP, and then so you divide that by the total population. And as you can see for the top, Sweden's GDP PPP, sorry, it sounds kind of funny, but it's right under $41,500, whereas the United States is going to be right under $48,500. So that's a little difference in that you can see. Okay, next, financial or Sweden's fiscal policy. I don't want to talk too much about this, but the book was touching on the fiscal policy for the different countries as well as for the United States, so I thought it was important to put this up. If you are interested in learning more about Sweden's fiscal policy, you can go to the website right below, and it tells you everything you could ever want to know about it, and kind of where it's trying to go and what it wants to do. And so that's where you're going to be able to find that. And then lastly, here's the wrap up for the professor, and for all you guys, it just gives the little points. So if you want to come back and see what all of our different rates were, you can just look straight at this one part of this show if you need to. And that's it, and thank you guys, and have a good day. Okay, bye.